Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So if you subscribed, you may have noticed I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks, and that is because I was not doing very well with my health, but I'm feeling a lot better now and I wanted to get a video put out as it is now August and I realised I did not do a wrap up for June or July, so I thought I would do that now and also set up a August TBR. So starting with June, I read 5 books in June. So the first book I finished in June was The Score by Al Kennedy. This is the third book in the off-campus series and I ended up giving this a 4-star. This is in one of my vlogs that's up on my channel. Honestly, it's been a while since I filmed anything, so I can't fully remember. But when I started reading this, I wasn't the biggest fan, but in the end, I ended up giving it a 4-star because I really liked it, but I couldn't give it a 5-star because it took me so long to read it. I think it took me from January to June, so it took me like 6 months to read this book. And at the start I wasn't really a fan of Dean or Ellie, but by the end I loved both of them, and yeah, I thought it was a very good book and that's why I gave it a 4-star in the end. The next book I read was Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I had higher hopes for this book. When I picked this up, I expected it to be a 5-star. I sadly only gave it a 3.75. It was still a good book, don't get me wrong. A 3.75 is not a bad rating at all. But it wasn't my favourite. It felt very insta-lovey and it just seemed like they rushed past a lot of stuff and I just got a little bit bored and I just didn't click with it that much. Am I still going to read the rest of the series? Yes, I am, because I've got book 2 on my shelf right there. But I think it's just a quick, cute romance series. It's like a quick, easy cowboy romance. I'm starting to realise, as of recently, I am more of a fantasy girl now than I am a romance girl. I still like to have my romance within my fantasy, don't get me wrong, but yeah, no, I've started to realise I get a little bit bored with romances sometimes. The third book that I read in June was Nightbane by Alex Astor. I read this for a vlog on my channel. I think it was actually the last video that I uploaded, which was reading books recommended to me by my friends. This one was recommended to me by the lovely Lex. I gave this 5-star. Absolutely amazing book. I cannot wait for book 3 to come out in October. I've already pre-ordered it because of how much I love it. I devoured this book in a couple of days. It was just so fun. I loved the characters and I can't wait for book 3 because I think that's when Isla is in her villain era and I am so down for that. But yeah, no, it was so good. I really loved it and I need book 3 like right now. The fourth book that I read in June was Throttled by Lauren Asher. I gave this a 4-star. This was also one that I read in my video reading books recommended to me by my friends. This one was recommended by Geordie, and honestly I really did like this book. I thought it was fun. I liked the characters, I liked the romance, and I do want to read the rest of the series. But yeah, no, it was just a fun little romance. It was my first ever F1 romance and I just liked it, and I'm going to be getting book 2 when I get paid this month. And then the final book for June was the third book for my video of reading books recommended by my friends, and this one was recommended by my friend Ida, and that was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave this a 5-star. And that was because this book was so weird and it messed with my head so much I couldn't give it anything other than a 5-star because I was so confused by it. It didn't make a lot of sense to me in my brain, and that may just be me being stupid, but it was such a confusing book, but it was also so good. I genuinely really enjoyed it, but I am selling this book now because, well, I'm not going to read it again, so I don't want it on my shelf anymore. But yeah, no. This book was it was so good but so weird at the same time. So yes, that was all the books that I read in June, and now on for July. I read 5 books in July as well. One of them isn't here because I read it on my Kindle, but I will now start with the ones I read in July. So the first book I read in July was Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This was another 5-star read, and I absolutely adored this book so much. I loved the characters, I loved the story, I loved learning about their lives and everything to do with it. I loved the romance, and it kind of like filled a space in my heart. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it was so good. This was the last book in my video, my last video, which was this one was recommended to me by M, and yeah, I adored it. I absolutely adored it. Definitely one of my favourites now, I think. The thing, I like Colleen Hoover's books. I do. They're very easy reads and I just genuinely enjoy them. I think I've given every book of hers that I've read a 5 stars. Apart from Confess, which I DNF'd, but I am thinking of rebuying that and giving it another go because I tried reading that during a reading slump, and yeah. But no, 5 stars, such a good book. I really, really loved it. The next 2 I'm going to do together because I read these within like 4 days, and considering the size of them, I'm very proud of myself. And that is Binding and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. Take these books and inject them into my bloodstream, please. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. I love Johnny and Shannon so freaking much. And I'm not over these books. I'm really not. I've just started book 3 in the series, which is Saving 6, and I'm just so in love with them. These books were so good. I was so on the fence about reading these. I was like, I'm not going to enjoy them. I don't ever like really big books. I'm probably going to give it like a low star rating. I read these in 4 days, and I just... they're so good. I think it was like 4 or 5 days, because I think I took a little while to read the first one, and this one I read in a day. I read Keeping 13 in a day. But yeah, no, I just love their story so much. I miss Johnny and Shannon, and I want to reread the books already, but I can't because I only read them recently. They're just so good, and I'm so in love with them, and they're just 5-star reads, and I hope I love the rest of the series just as much. So the next book that I read in July was If You Dare by Harmony West, I think it's called. I gave this a 2-star. I was just looking for a quick, easy romance to read after I'd finished reading Binding and Keeping, because if you've read those books, you know they're very emotionally heavy books, and I needed a bit of a palate cleanser. So yeah, took a bit of a break with that one, but I only gave it 2 stars. It wasn't great. It was meh. I kind of enjoyed it. Emphasis on kind of. But yeah. And the final book for July, the one that I finished most recently, was The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. I'm starting my Throne of Glass journey, and I am so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. Yes, I did start with Assassin's Blade. I know a lot of people say you should start with Throne of Glass and then read this 4th or 3rd or whatever. I'm glad that I read this first because I loved it so much. I loved all the little stories. I loved getting to know the characters. This book made me cry. If you've read it, you know why. But yeah, this was a 5-star, and I'm obsessed, and I cannot wait to carry on reading the rest of the series because it was just so good. And so for my August TBR, I have already picked out 2 books because these are ones that I do really want to read in the month of August, but I tend to read about 5 books a month, so I'm going to show you the 2 that I've picked out, and then I'm going to use my TBR prompt jar to pick out the last 3. So the first one I'm going to be reading is Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh. This is the 3rd book in the Boys of Tommen series. I'm nervous about reading this one because I know it's probably going to make me cry because those books are heartbreaking. But yeah, no, this is Joey and Aoife's story, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So I've already started this. I think I'm 28 pages into this one, so I'm not far in yet. And then the next book that I'm reading is going to be Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, because obviously, like I said, I started Assassin's Blade last month and I absolutely adored it, so I really wanted to carry on with the series, so I kind of have to read Throne of Glass. I'm really looking forward to reading this because I really loved Assassin's Blade so much and I can't wait to carry on with the world. But for the final three, let's pick from my little TBR jar. This is just like, I used to have a candle in this, but I kind of took out the candle, cleaned out, and now it's a TBR jar because it was too cute to throw away. But no, let's pick the first prompt. Okay, prompt number 1. Let you guys see it first. A book that a friend loves. Okay, let me have a think. Okay, I decided I'm going to go with Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I know this is one of Geordie's favourite books because she's the reason I read Done and Dusted, because she loves that one and she loved this one because she read both of these she read Done and Dusted and this in January. So yeah, I think that is going to be my first book from the prompt list. Now for prompt number 2. A free pick. I already know what I'm picking. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, because I just want to read all of Throne of Glass so badly. Oh my god, so yeah. I have to read Crown of Midnight as well. So that's going on the TBR pile. Now for the final one. Okay, now for the final pick. I think it's upside down. Nope. Yes, it was. A 5-star prediction. I have to have a think about that one. So for my 5-star prediction, I think I'm going to have to go with The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I've seen so many good things about this online. I've heard it's a very heartbreaking book. And also I know Em read this and she loved it, and honestly, whenever I go for recommendations, I go off what Em and Geordie said to read, because they do have really good recommendations and I love all the books they recommend. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this a go. I'm scared because I feel like it's going to break me, and I already feel like Saving 6 is going to break me a little bit. But yeah, that is the last book. So here we have my August TBR. We have Saving 6, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, The Way I Used to Be, and Swift and Saddled. And honestly, I've got to say, I think this is a really good TBR for the month of August. I think I have a few of these on audiobook, which is how I read most of my books nowadays, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to read these. I think I'm just going to really enjoy reading all these books because I do really love the Boys of Tommen series. I adored Assassin's Blade. I know Em loved this one and I know Geordie loved this one, so I'm set up for a good month in the month of August. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you've read any of these books, but please no spoilers because I do not want anything being spoiled for me. And yeah, I will update throughout the month. I might do a bit. I'm gonna try and figure out a vlog, to be honest, because I need to get some more videos sorted because I took a break. I'm a bit behind. Whoops. But yeah, no, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.